Lighting is very important in video games, and that is why I'm dedicating this entire episode to lighting. As mentioned in my previous devlog, I have introduced a lightweight rendering pipeline renderer to my game, which allows for perfect 2D lighting effects. All week I have been experimenting with the effect and trying to make the scene look as breathtaking as possible. Later in the video you will see exactly what I have learnt during this week of game development. But before I show you everything, I just want to say thank you for the overwhelming response on my first devlog video. I could not believe the views, the comments and the feedback I was getting, so thank you. If you have your own indie game and want to discuss anything game development related, feel free to join my Discord server. I also share updates on my games on there constantly, so go check it out. I would love to see new faces on there. If you enjoy the video, do not forget to leave a like, comment, and if you haven't already, then click subscribe. I also do the channel poll at the top corner of the screen. All you need to do is click the little I button at the top right corner of the screen, and it will send you to a survey which you can fill out during the video. Without further ado, let's get into the video. My first goal this week was to try and finish an accurate representation of how the first room will look. I took the lighting into consideration and started to remake some of the old sprites that you saw in the last devlog, to allow them to look more gloomier to better fit the style of the room. I added lots more clutter into the scene as well, such as a light bulb, a coat hanger, a ventilation system, used pizza boxes, because let's be honest, who does not love pizza? There was a patch of wall which was slightly lighter in the older version of this scene. This was to show that the wall was at a different level to the background. Then I concluded it kinda looked better as one flat surface. So overall, I feel like I made mighty improvements to the scene from last week's video, but the next goal was even harder: lighting. Adding the lighting effects was one of the best challenges I have ever had to face in game development. I added basic lighting into the scene, then started to experiment with point lights. I managed to get to a point where I had almost 20 lights into the scene, just lighting up different aspects of the window. I then realised that I needed to kind of get rid of a lot of them. This is where I stumbled into problems. The pixels on some of the sprites have not reacted nicely to some of the new lighting systems. It has permanently broken some of the pixels on the sprites and therefore needs to be changed. To this day, I still haven't figured out what this problem actually is, but I assume it's because the colours are a little bit identical and it is causing a colour leak into other pixels. This will be fixed at a later date and I'll experiment more in the coming weeks. So after erasing a lot of unwanted lights, I started colouring the lights to see how the glow would be portrayed coming from the objects outside of the window. This made the scene look much more realistic. The only problem I was facing was adding the main character to the scene full of lights, as every single light bounced off the player, making the scene feel more unrealistic again. This is where I learnt how to use sorting layers. This process allows me to put lights on separate layers, making it very easy to edit the main lights without them getting affected by the glows coming from the windows. I put all of the glows coming from the outside window on a separate layer to the main lighting in the room. This meant that the character was not affected by the glows and therefore ruining the illusion of the room. I did also attempt to use a normal map for the background, but it didn't really work out the way I intended it to, so therefore I removed it. After fixing the lighting, my next goal was sort of to get a playable demo. I wanted to get the character to move around the screen in the environment to see how the game will play. So the first step I did was to learn how to code the movement, which didn't take me long whatsoever, as I already had the movement script from my previous game, Afterlife, and also Tearfall Manor. The next goal was to do the Cinemachine camera. This camera would be designed to follow the character smoothly with no visible issues. This method works a treat, and before I knew it, my character was walking across the screen. Sticking to my golden rule of pixel perfect pixels, I was able to attach an extension to my Cinemachine camera to allow the pixels to not go distorted or morphed. The only problem I faced was the character movement, as the character movement does not align with the pixels and therefore breaks the illusion of the game and ruins my golden rule. I will no doubt experiment with this later down the line to make it more smooth and fix the problem that needs fixing. This is all we have time for today, but I hope you enjoyed the video. The next video uploaded might be a little bit different to Devlog's, so if you want to check that out then don't forget to subscribe and get notified for when I upload next. I've also got brand new social media accounts, so check out Twitter, Instagram and also Discord. Before I end the video, I want to show you a quick teaser for the next devlog. It's going to be based on Thank you for watching and peace.